Hey everyone, welcome to Physics at Home. Today we're going to be talking about collisions. So most of the time if you did collisions in class, your teacher probably got out some cool crash carts or you said air hockey table, but unfortunately at home most of us don't have that expensive equipment or air hockey tables. If you do have air hockey tables, then use them for this demonstration because that is going to be perfect. If not, most likely what you probably would have next turned to would be a set of two balls. The reason why balls work well in collisions is because we use them as examples all the time. I'm talking perfectly elastic collision. I'll probably talk about how a billiard ball happens or in a game of pool. If I'm talking about inelastic collisions, I'll talk about what happens if I have two Play-Doh balls come together and collide. The challenge with balls in real life actually is something that hopefully you'll be able to see here. So say I had a collision between these two golf balls. This one is stationary, this one's going to come in with some speed. What I'll do is I'll have them come in, and what you'll see is the challenge is if you don't hit it on perfect, you'll notice this one came off at an angle this way, and this one went off this way. We're trying to model 1D collisions or linear collisions, not 2D. So this ends up becoming a bit problematic, and so the balls are actually really hard to control. So what can we use instead? An option if you've got them is hockey pucks. So hockey pucks work really well because the energy transfer from one to the other is actually really clean. Challenge with hockey pucks though is they have a lot of friction between them and the floor, so they come to rest really quickly, so it's hard to see what exactly is happening to speeds right after. So if you can focus maybe on just right after the collision what's happening, then two hockey pucks is actually a really great option. Another one you can use is if you wanted something that rolls but is going to be easier to have a collision than a ball, would be something with cylinders. So you can try things like crayons, markers, that kind of stuff there. What I found actually worked best was canned goods and primarily tomato paste. Tomato paste I think works the best because the masses inside the can aren't moving around. This is a really thick fluid, so it's not going to be moving as we roll things around. So your mass distribution is going to stay constant throughout the whole thing. Problem with a can of tomatoes is that because it's some fluid, some solid, then it's going to end up moving around and you lose a little bit of energy that way. They still work, but it's just not a perfect model. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab two objects that are identical, that can roll and fairly frictionless surface, and you're going to play around with it knowing what the outcome should look like. Once you've played around with it and get a pretty good idea what the collisions look like, then you can start doing things like if I go in fast to something at rest, fast to something slow, and try to play around with all the different options that are there for you and get an idea what collisions look like, because then, sorry, I'll make that a little better. What you can do is you can see then visibly, really easily, fast, slow, increase speed, decrease speed, change in direction, same direction, and that kind of stuff. So anyways, have fun at home modeling collisions, and we'll see you next time.